The rain lashed against the windows of the old Victorian manor, each drop a tiny drumbeat accompanying Sarah's racing heart. Tonight was the night. Her hands trembled slightly as she clutched the small, ornate key, a replica she'd had made months ago. He'd taken her in without a second thought, a bachelor in his 50s suddenly thrust into the role of a guardian. He'd sacrificed his own dreams of travel and scholarly pursuits to raise her, to guide her through the confusing labyrinth of childhood and adolescence. The old house groaned around her, almost as if in protest, a sentient being weeping for the impending treachery. A knot of icy dread formed in the pit of her stomach, colder than any fear of the loan sharks. "Uncle Arthur," she whispered, her voice barely audible, choked by a sudden, inexplicable terror. No response. The air seemed to thicken, heavy with an unspoken truth. The sound was deafening in the sudden, profound silence. They poured down her face, mingling with the rain still drumming against the window. She sank to her knees beside him, his still hand clutched in hers, desperate for a warmth that would never return. Her world, once defined by her desperate need for money and the looming threats, now collapsed under the weight of an immeasurable loss and a truth too painful to bear. The jewels were gone, her debts were gone, but so was the only person who had ever truly seen her, truly loved her unconditionally. The world tilted. He hadn't guarded the jewels from her. He had sold them for her. The only person who truly loved her had sacrificed his most cherished possessions, his last earthly ties, to his family's legacy, to save her from herself, from the very danger she was trying to escape by betraying him. Panic flared, raw and consuming. She rushed to his side, her hand flying to his wrist, searching frantically for a pulse. His skin was cold, unnaturally so, the silence confirming her worst fear. There was nothing, just the chilling stillness of death. Not to save her from her act, but to reveal the profound depths of the love she had almost trampled. Her future stretched before her, an empty expanse haunted by the ghost of what she had almost done, and what he had done for her. The freedom he had bought her felt like a gilded cage, heavy with the weight of his sacrifice. There would be no more chasing, fleeting thrills, no more desperate gambles, only the long, arduous journey of living up to the immeasurable love he had shown her. A love she would forever carry as both a blessing and an eternal, aching consequence. The study door was ajar, a sliver of warm, inviting light escaping from within. Her uncle always left a lamp on, a comforting glow against the oppressive darkness of the night, a silent beacon welcoming her home no matter the hour. "I've seen the fear in your eyes, though you tried to hide it. I also know about the debt. I've known for a while, perhaps longer than you realize. I tried to help, subtly at first, but it wasn't enough. So, I took matters into my own hands. I sold the jewels, all of them. They were the only way to cover your debts completely, to truly free you from that dark shadow. Forgive me for not telling you sooner. I hoped to spare you this burden, this worry. They are gone, and with them, perhaps, my last hope for, I love you, always. My only regret is not being able to see you truly free. Live well, my dear girl. Live for both of us." She pushed the door open slowly, the soft click echoing in the profound silence that followed. He'd taught her to read by the fireplace, his deep voice narrating tales of ancient heroes and faraway lands. He'd encouraged her to dream, to believe in herself, even when the world seemed determined to knock her down. Her eyes blurred with unshed tears, but she forced herself to focus, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs. She read the words, scrawled in his familiar, slightly shaky handwriting, a hand that had once guided hers through childhood lessons. He truly loved her, and that love was a constant, gentle warmth in her often turbulent life. A lighthouse in her personal storms. Her target. The safe hidden behind a faded landscape painting in the dimly lit study, containing the only thing that could keep her afloat. A collection of priceless family jewels, heirlooms passed down through generations. But the person guarding them, the one whose unwavering trust she was about to shatter, was her Uncle Arthur. He was the kindest soul she'd ever known, a man whose quiet life had been appended the day her parents died in that tragic accident almost 15 years ago. Yet, here she was, a betrayer in the making. The gambling debts had spiraled out of control, a dark abyss threatening to swallow her whole. It had started innocently enough, a few small bets at the local track with friends, a thrilling escape from the mundane reality of her struggling art career. But the thrill had become a compulsion, the losses mounting faster than she could ever earn. The loan sharks were closing in, their threats growing more chilling with each passing day. Just yesterday, A brick had been thrown through her studio window, wrapped in a note with 2 stark words. She had exhausted every other option. Desperate pleas to estranged relatives, attempts to sell her own artwork, even considering a second mortgage on her small, inherited cottage. This was the only way out, a desperate, unforgivable act that would forever stain her conscience. As she crept down the creaking grand staircase, each step seemed to amplify the sound, a symphony of guilt. He wasn't in bed. He was there, slumped over his grand mahogany desk, his spectacles askew, a half-empty teacup beside him. A small, crumpled note lay beneath his hand, almost hidden by his sleeve. My dearest Sarah, if you are reading this, I am no longer with you. I know about your troubles. The key, the symbol of her intended betrayal, fell from her numb fingers, clattering softly on the polished wood floor. The tears came then, hot and stinging, a torrent of grief and overwhelming, suffocating guilt. In that very last second, before she had opened the safe, before her betrayal was complete, fate had turned.